Hello everybody, thanks for watching again, thanks for joining. Today I'm going to show you a new feature of the Laravel FFMpeg package that I've been working on for a few years now. So as you might know, the FFmpeg package is great for converting videos and audio and slideshows and whatever more. And we had a feature called HLS for about 4 years, and just this week we've added Encrypted HLS. So HLS is a technique by Apple. They developed it, I think, around the early iOS days, and they probably wanted to get rid of Flash and created a new protocol for streaming. So I think it was around the time of the iPad when it was available, and everybody started migrating to it. So what it does, it converts one video into multiple videos with different bit rates, with different sizes. So the video player adapts to the bandwidth of your network. So that's great for video, of course. So in this example, I have a video which I grabbed from the internet. It is a video by Joseph Redfield. This one. So I grabbed it from the Pexels website, which is a royalty-free website for videos and photos. And I created a fresh Laravel application, which you can find right here. You can find it in the comments below as well. So this is the Laravel application, and it's quite simple actually. It only has a video player, which is video.js, and it loads the video that I downloaded. So this is already the converted video. I will show you in a minute, don't worry. So when I start to play the video, you will see it doesn't just load one file in the network inspector. So we've got a bunch of files coming in. Let me show you in code. So in my storage directory, I have a folder called uploads, and this is the original file, redfield.mp4, which I downloaded from the website. And I've got a little console command, this one, process video upload, which converts the video into HLS. So let's walk through this this code right here. Let's see. I've got another folder, the public folder, which contains the output. So let's delete it for now. And now the video should not work. Yep, of course. So what's happening right here? We start with a little info line that we are converting the original video. So with the FFmpeg package, we open this file from the uploads disk. So let me show you in the configuration file, config file systems, and here below the disks, I've got my uploads disk, which is just a folder in the storage path, but it's not publicly available. So it's protected from outside visitors. So we open that file from the upload disk. We call the export for HLS method. And then we add two formats. So I've got a low format and a high format, which are just H.264 codecs with different bit rates. So the low one is 500 kilobits, and the high one is 1000 kilobits per second. You can add as many formats as you like. You can also add like a mid format or a super high format. And what's cool about this package is that you can modify these exports as well. So in this example, I've added the low format, and I'm also resizing that one. So the original video is full HD, so 1920 by 1080. And with the low format, I'm resizing that to 1280 by 720, and I don't resize the high format. So the next line is a progress handler to see how far we've come, and then we save it to the public disk. So what's great about this package is that you can save it to different disks, but also open it from different disks. So this could also be an S3 container, or maybe a Dropbox, or a FTP file system, or whatever works for you. So you can open it from different disks and save it to different disks. So in this case, we're saving to a public disk because we want it to be publicly available. And then we give it a path. So in this part here, the extension, that's quite important. It must end with the M3 U8 extension. And then we do a little info line. Done. So let's run this command in the terminal. So here we are. By the way, this is a fresh Laravel 8 application. You can see that right here if I scroll to the top. Laravel 8.20.1. And I called this command video upload process. So let's run it. Art. So art is an alias for PHP artisan. Let's run it. And there it goes. So yeah, this always takes a while. My computer is probably also slower because I am streaming as well. Don't worry about it. So let's go back to code. And in the videos folder, we're already seeing some progress right here. So it creates different segments for the different bit rates. It's almost ready. Done. So here are the files that were generated by the low format. Here are the files that are generated by the high format. And HLS works with playlists. So Martin says in the artisan commands have a progress bar helper. Yeah, I know, but I think that one needs the total progress, right? Yeah, which I could use. Yeah. So let's see. I don't think I've used that before with progress bar. Total steps is 100, of course. Let's see if this works. And let's move these into the closure. Okay, I need to read the documentation for this. Oh yeah, you need to give it a collection of something. Total steps. Maybe let's just do this. Let's undo. This should be 100. And then bar advance. But I can't say Can I do something like, oh, like I want to set the step. All right. Yeah, sure. Progress. Got another keyboard today, so I'm making a lot of typos. And then we hit finish. Let's run it again. Yeah, seems to work. So much better, of course. Oh, maybe not. What's happening? So yeah, you're right. One for later. So let's refresh the demo application again. And now it works. So here you see the content loaded. So this is working all fine. What I want to show you is the encryption feature. So I'm gonna get rid of these this new bar thing, just to make sure I don't break anything. So what we can do is call a method that's called with encryption key, and you need to give it a key. So we've also have a little helper method, HLS exporter generate encryption key. So now it's going to encrypt this video with this key. So this generates one key for the whole video, which is probably fine. But there's also another feature that's called with rotating encryption key, which auto generates the keys. So before I change this, if you use this method, you need to save the encryption key yourself. So let's run it. And for now, I am going to remove one format to save some time. Let's run it again. Yeah, so it's a bit faster. So let's go back to the public folder. So now we have this encryption key, which I forgot to save, but you get the ID. This is not what I want to show you, but so now it actually just all these segments are encrypted by FFmpeg. You don't have to do anything for this manually. So this is what I wrote in the documentation. Don't forget to save your key, which I did. So I'm gonna use the rotation key encryption, which needs a callback because it auto generates the keys. So whenever a key is generated, it calls this callback method with the file name and with the content. So let's save that to the public disk as well. So storage, disk, public, put file name, contents. And I'm going to delete the videos folder again to get rid of the old segments. So let's run it. And now, as you'll see, here are the keys that are generated, but I forgot to put it in the videos folder. Of course, I forgot. So, one more time, I'm gonna delete the videos folder. I'm gonna delete these files as well. Delete and run it one more time. So now it's storing these keys in the videos folder. Don't need this. Goodbye. So it seems to be done. Let's refresh the demo application. And it still works. So if I change the network inspector to all, you can see that the keys are downloaded as well. They are downloaded automatically by the browser. And if you inspect one of the playlists, you can see that as well. So for every segment, it's listing another key. So let's see what happens if we delete the keys. Refresh the page. And the video doesn't work anymore. So that's actually what we need, because we want to limit the accessibility of this video. So of course, storing these keys to a public folder doesn't make sense. So I'm going to store it to a secrets disk. So I've added a secret disk as well to my file systems configuration file. So let's do that. Disk secrets. Let's remove this. Just store it there. Yeah, run it again. Here is the new secrets folder. And of course, when I refresh the page, it should not work. Yeah, so someone is asking how these encryption keys work. So when FFmpeg encrypts the video, encodes the video from one file into multiple files, it encrypts every segment with another key. So the encryption happens when you convert the video. And then when the browser tries to play that segment, it also downloads the associated key. So in this playlist, which is generated automatically, it links one key to one segment. And you don't have to worry about this. So this is all done by FFmpeg and by the package. The decryption is done by the browser or by a video player. You can also use something like VLC for playback. So that's how this encryption stuff works. So back to the browser. I'm refreshing again. And it doesn't work because it can't find these keys, right? So how are we going to solve this problem? I thought about this too. And then I thought it would be great if we could deliver these keys to the browser through the Laravel application. So we can check if the user that is authenticated or not is allowed to read these keys. So let's go into our routes file. Web. And I'm gonna create a new route. And I call this one video playlist. And then we want to have a route segment. We want that playlist right here. And I will call this playlist video.playlist. All right. And I want a route for the key as well. So I'm going to update this to key. And when somebody wants to retrieve a key or download a key, we're just gonna give it them from the storage disk. Just from this, so from the secrets, we're gonna give them the key. Let's import that. So what about the playlist? I've created a helper for that as well, and that one is called Dynamic HLS Playlist. So with this class, I can open the playlist, and I should not forget from disk, because we're opening it from the public disk, and we are opening the playlist from the route. So you will see this in a minute. And then I have three methods to, or three callbacks to implement. One is the key resolver. So this this callback is going to give us the key, and we need to point it to a URL where the player can find that key. So that should be this one, right? We want to update the playlist so all the keys are pointing to this route. So let's do that. Video.key, and then give it the key as a parameter. We need to give it the playlist URL resolver. So what is this? This file right here, without the 0 and the bitrate, this is the master playlist or the primary playlist. And this one lists all the other playlists. So this one is specifically for this bandwidth, this resolution, this codec. So back when we had two formats, like one 5000 and one 1000, it actually had this inside it. So we need to update these playlists as well. And of course, this is the current route. So video.playlist, and give it a playlist. And then the last thing we need to do is give it the media itself. So those are the media segments. This one, the .ts files. So that is, I think, asset, maybe URL. I'm not sure. Let's try asset. No, of course, what is it? I wrote it in the documentation because I always forget this. So let's open the FFmpeg documentation. I know it's somewhere around here. Oh yeah, it's storage URL, right? It's this one. So, of course, from the storage disk, the public disk, and then we give the URL to, I'm not forgetting it this time, videos, media. So this seems really complex right now. I'm gonna show you that it works, and then we're gonna do a little walkthrough. So let's refresh the page, and let's hope I didn't make a mistake. I did, because it didn't work. Oh yeah, of course, I forgot to update the blade file. So back to the blade file. Where are you? Welcome. So instead of referencing to the public folder, we're gonna give it the route, the one we just created, video.playlist, and then give it that playlist. Oop. Like I said, different keyboard. Lots of typos today. All right. Let's hit refresh. And it still doesn't work. We get a 500 error. So let's open that. Unable to load FFmpeg. I've had this error before. So I know why this is. So our PHP CLI now knows how to resolve FFmpeg, but the PHP FPM, I think, the one that runs through Nginx, doesn't know how to resolve it. So we're gonna publish the FFmpeg files, the FFmpeg configuration file, this one right here, and we need to give the absolute path to FFmpeg and ffprobe. So let's see where it's located today. User local bin. Let's update it. And let's refresh the application. But it still doesn't work, but we don't get an 200 or a 500 error anymore. So let's see. Yeah, I know. I forgot to return. So we got an empty response. So this dynamic HLS class is responsible, which means you can just return this class, and here at the bottom it knows how to transform this whole class into a response. So let's get back to the web file and refresh one more time. Now we've got another error. So let's see. Path not found. Not found. It could not find the playlist. Oh, of course. Just when I said I wouldn't make this mistake again. Let's refresh. It's doing something more, but now it can't find. So it did find the keys, but it did not find the media segment. So let's dive into. I forgot to set the URL path, right. So that's a stupid mistake. I should do this in the environment file. So what's this called? Too long. So let's just copy it. Let's hit refresh. Yeah, and now it works. So now we've got a dynamic playlist. Let's open this one. So as we can see, it generated links for all these segments. Maybe I can make this bigger. Yeah, I can. Oops. So it generated URLs for all these segments, and it also replaced the keys with the absolute path to the key. So let's see what happens in the web file. Now this is the place where you can add some kind of authentication. For example, you could use the abort method, like abort if auth guest with 403. So now when we refresh the page, it shouldn't work because the encryption key is giving a 403. And now it works again. So of course, this is where you implement your own logic right here. So let's take a look at this dynamic HLS playlist again. So let's close some things. Yeah, don't save. So I'm gonna I'm gonna do one more thing, and that's adding the original high format. So I can show you what's happening. Let's convert one more time. Should take a little bit longer now. So yeah, some new keys are generated, and we are already seeing this 1000 bitrate file. Almost ready. Done. So let's dive into this playlist. This one is the main playlist, the master playlist, the primary playlist. I don't know the official name. I think it's called master playlist. So in this playlist, all the formats are listed. So here we've got our first format, which we call low format. So it's got a 1280 by 720 resolution. It's got a average bandwidth, and it's got a frame rate and codecs. You don't have to worry about that. And this is where it says if you want to play this stream, you need this playlist. And the same is true for this playlist below, which is the one that has a bigger resolution, higher bandwidth. If the browser wants to play this stream, it needs this playlist. So we've got a master playlist, and we've got a playlist for the low bitrate and one for the high bitrate. So let's take a look at the low bitrate. This low bitrate stream is divided into 3 files, which are called segments. So this is our first segment, second segment, third segment, and all these segments are listed again in this playlist. By default, these segments are 10 seconds, but you can change that as well. I've never had trouble with 10 seconds, so I see no reason to update this. But yeah, so just you know. So since we are encrypting all these segments have a different key, right? So we've got 3 segments, 3 keys. And you can see the same in the 1000 playlist file, the one with high bitrate. It's got 3 segments with 3 different keys. So you just give the browser this file, the master playlist, and it knows how to figure out which stream to play. It's also adaptive, so whenever your network bandwidth is throttled down, it just selects another stream automatically. You don't have to do anything for that. It just works. So that's that. But the problem with this playlist, or I should say with this playlist, is that the browser, of course, can't find these files. It doesn't know where to find these encryption keys. So what this dynamic, what this dynamic playlist does is it's opening a playlist like this one, and then it's going to change the path to the key. And if you're opening the master playlist, it's also going to change the path to the segment playlist. So the first playlist that the browser opens is this one. It's the master playlist we're giving it. You can see that in the inspector as well. So this redfield.m3u8, that's the first playlist it's requesting from the Laravel application. And let's refresh it. So we have the multiple bit rates. Yeah. So as you can see, the only thing that is changed in this master playlist is the path to the segment playlist. So instead of just having Redfield 0500, we're having the full path to the playlist URL. So this browser, which is Firefox, then opens the first playlist, which is the Redfield 0500, which is this playlist. So it's not opening this playlist right from this disk, but through this route, right? And as you can see, here it also updates a bunch of stuff. So in the original file, we have the relative path to a key. It has updated it to the absolute path to our Laravel application. And it also updated the URL to the segments. So this is probably because I ended the app URL with a slash. Still works. So yeah, so it updates these segments as well. So that's great. So this is updated, and this is updated, and so it still fetches the segments, this stuff right here, through the web server, not through the Laravel application. It only serves the playlists and the secrets through the Laravel application. So whenever the browser wants to play this first segment, first it's going to look for the key. So it will end up right here, requesting that key from the Laravel application. That's where you can find out, do I want to give the browser that key? And if you do, if you return that key to the browser, then it will open a segment, which is not through the Laravel application, but just, like I said, through the web server. So in this case, you could use something like a CDN if you really want to. And again, add your own logic right here. If you don't want to, if you don't want this video to be playable, just return a 403 or whatever you like. So that's it for today. This is stuff I wanted to show you. It's available in FFmpeg 7 or Laravel FFmpeg 7.5, which was released just a few days ago. And this morning I made a little bug fix for the bitrate, because there were some problems with the bitrates in the playlists, but that's solved now and you don't have to worry about it again. So this also, you can read all about this in the documentation with example codes. Oh yeah, and of course, yeah, just one more thing to show you. Let's go back to the comment. So now I'm saving this encryption key to the storage, but of course I can store it to the database as well, or to another way of storage. I think this is fine, maybe, but you maybe you want to store it in a database. I don't know, whatever you like. So that's that. Yeah, this is just an optional thing. Yeah, that's it for today. So thanks again for joining me. Thanks for the comments, and have a great holiday, everybody. Stay safe, and I hope to see you soon, maybe next year somewhere. All right, bye-bye.